Faith Kimbrough, your Marion County Recorder.
And I'm J.R. Ryder, your Chief Deputy Recorder.
And welcome to our last show of On the Record.
Wow, the last show of 2025. That's hard to believe. We did have a lot of good guests on our show this year, though.
I think so, too. What were your favorite guests?
You know, I liked the prosecutor show where it was talking about property fraud, and also the assessors. I thought that was very informative. Well,
we really would like to know what your favorite shows were. But what we're going to do right now is show you some clips from the entire year. Stay tuned. So based on what you've seen, what are some of the ways that scammers are actually stealing these properties?
There's a big part of that scam, I would say, is forgery. They're forging a lot of documents, the deeds. They are turning that information into as their own property, as they're the owners.
We have good news for Marion County citizens, and we have a property fraud alert tool that Recorder Kimbrough just alluded to. And this is a tool that what happens is you register and you sign up for our fraud alert system. And if any activity occurs on your property deed, you will be notified. That's any activity, good or bad, but it would notify you so that you can get ahead of any type of potential scam. So that's absolutely free. We'll pop the information up on the screen for those who would like more information on that. So there's some good news on the horizon. We do thank you, Jason, for being our guest today on the program.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I think this is a great thing that the office is doing and educating people on how to be vigilant.
I would recommend to people, especially if they're going through a process of potentially buying a property, selling a property, or going through a refinance, to be extremely vigilant with their emails. The spoofing scams, they're so much better than they used to be. These emails that come in look legitimate. Before you click on a link, before you open an attachment, make sure you know where it's really coming from, and that's it. Scroll that roller over. Call and check with the person that's sending it to you, because I think oftentimes that's where we're seeing these initial problems come through. The emails are getting hacked. They know when closings are happening or when properties are going to be transferred, and they're trying to get in there. And then they will send something that looks like it's from a title company or gain additional information. For better or worse, our county records are public records.
Correct.
They are.
People get access, can get access to those and get a fair amount of information.
And that's where our hands are tied.
Yeah.
Because we can only do so much from the recorder's office.
When you're buying a home, you want to make sure you own it, right? If you are signing a note and a mortgage to purchase your house and you have to pay back the bank, you want to make sure that you own the property, right? So that's what title does. The title actually, which is recorded in the recorder's office, gives you the history of that property. What are the ownership interests? What are the mortgages on it? What are the judgment liens that are on that property?
What is Tangled Title, and what are some of the reasons why it exists?
Yeah, so Tangled Title is essentially an issue when you have a deceased person and they own property. And then when the death occurs, the family not refuses, or sometimes intentionally or unintentionally does not update the records of who now the next in line legal owners are. And so what happens is you end up with, say, Big Mama's house, and she has 5 children. And then when she dies, no one does anything with the deed. They just leave it in her name so that they can still continue paying the mortgage uninterrupted, and they just go on about business as usual. And so then the title gets tangled because then inevitably one of her children dies. And that child has, say, 5 kids. So now you have, on one row, you have her children, plus 1/5 is now owned by her grandchildren, split 5 ways. And then it just keeps getting fractured and fractured. The longer people hold on to title, you have more people that are now legally the owners, but with smaller and smaller fractional interests.
I see. We are here at Long's Bakery, the iconic Long's Bakery, also known as Long's Donuts. And we're here today, of course, with Recorder Kimbrough, and we are here with the owner of Long's Bakery. Her name is Crystal Smith. Crystal, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
You know, oftentimes when I'm out there, they like, babe, Madam Recorder, I got a question. I'm like, what's this regarding? Taxes on their homes. So I'm going to ask the question that was asked to me, just as if one of the residents asked this question. So it says, my taxes jump up every year. Why did my taxes increase so much this time?
So the legislature, by statute, we do everything by statute, and we assess property or appraise property every year. So we use sales to do that. We don't predict value, we don't project value. What we do is we do everything retroactively. So we look at the 12 months of preceding sales and analyze those within your neighborhood. And then your assessment will rise or fall based on the sales that occurred in that neighborhood.
So it's based on sales and not actually what I've done to my property? Or does that have anything to do with it?
It does.
Okay.
So there's 3 approaches to value when you're talking about real estate appraisal.
Okay.
There's the cost, the sales, and the income. Well, we're going to be sticking mainly to sales and cost because that's how we appraise or assess residential properties.
Okay.
So when you're talking about the base assessment, it is a cost assessment. So it's, what did it cost to build the structure plus the land value? When you move into the sales approach, you're analyzing the sales of comparable properties that occurred. And so we have a base assessment, which is your cost. So we have field people that measure and collect all of the physical characteristics of that home or business, whatever we're assessing. But then we also use the sales data from that 12 months preceding the assessment date, which is January 1st. So really, when you're looking at a tax bill, what you're seeing is a sales market that occurred 2 years prior to that valuation date. Because we're for example, if you have a tax bill today, we're valuing it as of 1/1 of 2024 because you pay taxes in arrears in Indiana. So you're going to get a bill in 25 for that 1/1 of 24 date. Now, how do we get to that 1/1 of 24 valuation date? We use the 12 months of preceding sales. So you're almost 2 years sales market behind when you're looking at your tax bill.
I just want the viewers at home to know that the Recorder's Office holds public records of property transactions such as liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. Come on.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and
and
more.
more.
See,
Very
I
good.
got it.
The Recorder's Office holds public records of property transactions such as
Mortgages, deeds, liens, easements, any sort
she's gonna
of
go the extra
any
mile. You
sort
already
of
know.
agreement that 2 parties agreed to.
liens, deeds, mortgages, and more.
There we go.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. One more time. Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more.
Liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. And since we do hold deeds in our office, we would like to present to you today a copy of the original deed of this building.
Gosh, that is so neat. Oh, wow. That is so cool. Thank you so much. That
You're
is
very
so
welcome.
cool.
Wheeler Mission is what we consider to be an iconic landmark here in the city of Indianapolis. So here we have a decorative deed on behalf of Recorder Marion County Recorder Faith Kimbrough. We'd like to present this to you and to Wheeler Mission for your service to our community.
That's fantastic. This is a surprise. This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
And you're welcome, and thank you for being our guest on the record.
No, thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good? Okay.
All right. All right. Now we put the hats on.
Can you see my ho-ho-ho?
Well, we hope that you all enjoyed our last show. I would personally like to say thank you to our producer and to Channel 16 for the opportunity, and you, the viewers at home. Merry Christmas to all.
And to all, a good night.